You are listening to a Reverie original podcast. Please download the Reverie app to get the best in queer film, TV series, music, and podcasts. Stream out loud.
Hello, trash bags, and welcome to Podcast of Color, where four trash bags come together and make some sense of the world.
Well, today we're three.
Today we are indeed three.
But we have Bays in the studio. Thanks for blessing us with their presence from the big city.
You know, I thought I would just come down here and shine a little light on y'all's asses, but then I shown it too bright and it caused a fire, unfortunately.
So you farted.
Oh, is that problematic?
I mean, yeah, people's houses burned down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It just happened. For those
Too
of you who
soon?
don't know, there's wildfires spreading around California, Oakland, and New York. No, New York. Right?
In New York, yeah.
Yes, they're spreading all throughout
LA.
California,
LA.
right up in New York City.
If you live between 125th and 145th.
You're so stupid.
145th and Sepulveda and Sunset Boulevard. That's where you should go. But yeah, so there's three of us here today, and like, Baze, how was your experience in LA been for the last?
It was actually more fun than it was last time, but I think last time it was a little bit more fun because a little less fun because I think I did like the WeHo Queen thing for the whole weekend, and it was all very, and I think I got burnt out really quickly, and I was like, oh, like I can't wait to get back to New York. But then this time it was just like, oh wow, like I got to like do the chiller thing, and we only really went wild one night. So since then I've just kind of been mostly like coming in early and relaxing, and I'm just like, oh wow, like this is the part of LA that I love. But I'm still not about the car notes and the gas and the insurance. I'm not about it.
How much is gas here compared to New York?
I don't even know, girl, because I haven't looked at a gas station.
People there don't drive.
Most people don't drive. There are gas stations. I actually live by a gas station, but I never look at it. I actually never look at it.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I literally look right through it all the time, but it doesn't exist to me anymore.
I'm curious because here it's fucking brutal. Like,
Oh, I saw it was like almost $4. I was like, when I was living here, it was still like, it was right in the range between like $2 to $3.
I remember when I was in high school and I first started to learn how to drive, I filled up my car tank for $30 and it went past the F.
Oh, girl, I remember those days.
Oh my god,
now if you do 40, it's like 75%.
my car hasn't been on a full gas tank in at least 4 months. I refuse to pay over $50 for gas.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
But why do you? I don't understand why people do that. They just go like,
I don't know. It makes me feel better
You're
to
gonna
part with.
spend the full one anyway.
It's
Easier
because,
for me to
bitch,
part with the money.
Do you want to part with like
In parts.
$100 in the gas? Like, I think that's a bill.
But then you got to go twice as much if you only go half the time.
Okay, should we talk about things that you do that don't make sense? Maybe.
So the question of
As I thought. Okay.
we're still the trash bags are still on a Ariana kick, and my question is, so Ariana, through her exes, she has learned. Wait, what is it? One taught me love. One taught me patience. One taught me pain. Okay, there it is.
Sorry.
Bless you.
So, which one do you think you are in? I guess not just not just personal or romantic relationships, but in general.
So if you have to like put all of them together and average it, which one would you be to people?
It's like, you know, in Hercules when there is panic and pain. So this is patience.
I actually
love
do
and
know
pain.
what that's from, but I know it from Kingdom Hearts because there's a panic cup and a pain cup.
I
in
need
the
to play
game.
this damn game.
My
friend Kurt gave it to me.
Oh, see, he's doing the Lord's
I
work.
know, but you know what?
Wow.
I tried to play it when I was with him when he came over my house, and I tried to play it, but Mark is the one that has the PlayStation, so it's already filled with his game. So we're gonna have to figure something out. I want to play it though.
Delete something.
Well, I'm gonna talk to him about that, but I want to play it before the second one comes out, and that's in January, right? What?
Sorry, no. I'm just doing Ariana
The
ad-libs.
second one came out in 2008. The third one is the one
Okay,
that's...
whatever, girl.
Okay, whatever, girl.
Whatever. The next one.
Yes, it's coming out. But don't play that one if you haven't played the other ones, because you really won't know.
I'm just gonna play the one that he gave me.
Yeah.
It might be a... No.
It may be
a
one...
multi-parted one.
Yeah, because they have, like, you know, a bunch of ones where you have, like, all of the games put together. You can borrow the one I have, too, honestly. It's fine.
I asked you for that, and you were like, no, girl, you're going to New York. I can't give you that.
Oh, well...
Anti-ways.
Yeah, sorry.
What lesson
Back to the question of
are you guys teaching people?
I'm definitely teaching you patience, because it takes a lot of patience to deal with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, like,
yeah.
we stand self-awareness.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on 3, like, to be honest with you. I feel like love, because I feel like I'm very, when I like someone, I feel like I'm very, like, into that. I feel like patience, because I'm a shitty communicator / texter, and you might be waiting. And I feel like you might be waiting for a text for a minute. So literally patience, and pain, because bottoming hurts. And, that's all I'll say about that.
But that's what they're teaching you. Oh, wait. Sorry.
I didn't say who taught who anything.
Oh, okay. Well,
We don't know who.
was
just-
kind of.
There
a
are no
question.
rules anymore.
Okay.
Think this is 2018. We don't do that. We're off that. We're off boxes. We're off labels.
I think I teach people love.
I think so, too.
I think so
agree.
too.
Oh.
I would agree. Yeah.
But, like, towards the end of it, I'll teach you pain.
Also,
But yeah.
T. I was waiting on that. I was like, okay.
I'm also self-aware, but yes, I will teach you pain eventually. But I think I'll teach you love first.
I think primarily you teach people love.
Well, no, I was gonna say verse top. I'm like love pain.
I can honestly
You're a
think of
verse
only.
top?
I can honestly think of only one time you taught me pain.
Is this gonna get messy?
No,
or-
I already told you about. We're not going to talk about it on the show. This
Oh,
would get messy.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you brought it up on the show. So.
Okay, yes. And just because I brought it up on the show doesn't mean I'm going to talk about it on the show.
Ooh.
I gave you what I wanted to give you, and that's all you're
What
going to get.
what does Renee teach people?
Renee teaches everyone anti-capitalism.
That's the one Ariana forgot to mention.
Yes.
One time.
We want a redo remix.
Oh, that we need that
the
demo.
anti-capitalist remix.
Oh my gosh. I feel like Renee teaches.
I think he teaches love
To be
He
and
teaches-
patience.
to be honest with you, I have no fucking clue, because like I don't like.
I wouldn't say he teaches pain.
Mm-mm.
I don't. Well, remember when we got that letter in about how? Remember that?
Oh, yeah. From that one listener.
About you. What was it like? Oh, you stood me up.
Yeah, I think that was what it was.
Messy.
But like that one time. Like I think
That was just
primarily-
one time. I don't want to talk about that time.
Anyway, I think primarily Renee
Oh.
tends to, because Renee does require
teach you-
patience.
Yeah,
but he
he'll tell you
also
that.
gives you a lot of love.
Yeah.
So he'll teach you a lot of that as well.
Yeah.
Well, to our listeners, I hope you guys figure out what you're teaching people.
Wait. We should say what we think each other.
I agree with our answers.
Yeah, I
Oh,
agree
you
as
did-
well. I think honestly we all were pretty good about it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It
Yeah.
does take a lot of patience to deal with bays.
Reiterating that
Do
point.
we have something that we want
Right.
to talk about?
I've been hosting you for an amazing time.
Wow. And this is the first I'm hearing about
I
this
just-
potentially being an issue.
And thank you for listening. We'll see y'all in the Minutes of Color.
All right, we're back with the Minutes of Color. I don't know why I thought one of you guys were going to do it.
I just love the slight hesitation because your
Yeah.
person went like.
I was like, balagde. Yes, so
What kind of sandwich are we getting this time? Last time we made a good news, bad news, good news.
Oh,
we're just gonna make a really random sandwich because
Like a pizza.
I had too much fun this weekend, so we're just gonna go.
Too
go
many
at it.
toppings on this pizza.
you can never have too many toppings.
can have too many tops.
Yes, if you include a pineapple in it, you can have too many toppings.
What? Okay,
Whoa,
wait. That is a
truth.
discourse.
Is it?
Why do people not like?
Because it's disgusting.
Because it's disgusting.
Because
Period.
it's
No.
savory. You don't mix
I think
sweet
that's
with savory.
racist towards Pacific Islander ethnicities because we like pineapple on everything.
I'm not gonna comment on any of that, but I'm just gonna say that pineapple on pizza is disgusting, and I will.
Have you
stand
not
by
had a
that.
pineapple burger?
No,
Girl, why? If we didn't
But
want
I
it on pizza, why would we put it on?
Honestly,
Come on now.
Girl,
Pineapple fried
my God,
rice?
have
Keep
you-
up.
I've had pineapple chicken. That's really good.
Wait, that sounds delicious.
Pineapple chicken. It's like orange chicken.
Wait,
just
why all
tiny
of a
spot by
sudden
my
because
house.
it's a chicken? It's
Because
okay.
it-
Wait,
Because
wait.
hams and chickens can have fruit on them because it gives them a different.
Wait a
flavor.
minute. Skirt. How come when it comes to chicken, that's the one you have to be all offended about? He said,
Oh, come on, that was a reach.
Was it?
Anyways, yes.
coming from you, was it?
So the reach for the pineapple section up here. Anyway,
Bitch.
I think pineapple on pizza is great.
So what's this here about Jim Acosta?
Jim Acosta. Oh, so
Acosta? How do we pronounce his name?
well, okay. So Jim Acosta is a reporter from CNN. And I believe he was. Well, I think he still is.
I thought he had it revoked.
He had it stripped, but
Yeah.
I think he still has a job, but it's temporarily revoked. Like
Okay.
So he is the chief White House press correspondent to the White House for CNN. And during the day after midterms, which just happened, in which the thing came out to the podium to do a press conference because he was shook. And pretty much Jim Acosta had asked a question, and Donald Trump did not like the answer, and pretty much tried to like take the mic or have like his aide like take the mic from Jim Acosta and like try to like reach out and then grab it, and then like even the way he was just talking to him was like, no, you shut up, like like you don't talk now, like you be quiet or whatever, like you're done, you've done enough or whatever. It was just like, it was, first of all, like it was just the most unprofessional thing I've like ever seen in my life. Like if we take everything else out of it, first of all, like in any kind of work environment, no one should be allowed to do that, like at all.
Yeah.
Second of all, I saw a lot of people saying that he assaulted her, like, or that, like, and so here's the thing.
And it, but what had happened was what had happened was Donald Trump. What had happened was the White House doctored the video so that you couldn't see. I mean, so that it was sped up.
It was sped up.
So that it looked like he's like karate chopping her arm or something. And it wasn't. Like, that wasn't what it looked like. But they sped it up and then they posted that video. So not only are they lying, but they're doctoring like evidence to show that, to support their
and
story.
That's like, isn't that like technically slander?
I don't know, but it should be if it isn't.
I feel like that should be illegal, especially because you're a government agency. But to me, I thought it was as simple as, if I have this thing, I'm holding this water bottle in my hand right now. If you tried to take this water bottle out of my hand, or I'm holding something, you were trying to snatch something from me. So as an automatic response, I'm going to pull my hand away from you, or put your hand away from me. You don't put your hand on me. I was so confused by people saying, like, I told y'all, like, one of my guilty pleasures is like The View, and like, I was shocked by like, well, it was conservative people saying it, just saying like, oh, well, like, like he should have never like put his hands on her. And I'm like, where did he do? All he did was move his hand away when someone tried to snatch a mic from him.
Honestly, this whole administration has just taught me that like they will do their damnedest to victimize white women and make them seem like innocent. Like, this woman was brutally going up to him and trying to take the mic out of his hands.
Like,
so
that's like that girl who got moved mojito. Like, when she tried to
I haven't seen
Wait,
this
what's
one.
that from?
You haven't seen that video where the girl, she goes, "Oh, you hit me," and then the dog jumps up and she goes, "Move, mojito." You've never seen that?
Mm-mm.
I'm sorry.
Are you fucking?
Sorry, you're gonna have to show us that later.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm usually.
You
with
guys have been on
stuff.
the internet and you've never seen the Move Mojito video.
No.
All right, I'm gonna watch that later.
Wow. Okay, I think that says a lot about y'all.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
Or does it say that maybe you're on the internet too much?
Does it?
What else we got on
The
Dokiats. Ooh, what was that?
Yeah.
The Dokiats. It was like French, then German.
I don't know, girl. Stan Lee passed away today.
Fuck.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Stan Lee.
That actually like hit me really hard. Like,
Really? Are you a comic book fan?
I used to buy a lot of comic books like 2 years ago. And then I stopped buying them because they reminded me of a person, and I didn't want to do, reasons. But I used to, and when I was younger, like I like grew up reading a lot of like Stan Lee things, and also like just being a big Marvel fan in general, and like seeing all the cameos that he's been in the movies, and just like I don't know, it's just really sad to see, and like he's literally like the reason like Spider-Man is here, and like most of the Marvel characters that you know and love, like and I didn't realize he was like 95 or something like that.
Yeah, he was 95.
I didn't realize he was that old.
That's what I was saying when Base told me. I was like, so when he's been making all these movie appearances, he's like literally in his 90s.
Like I knew he was old, but I didn't realize he was like
old.
So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But I mean, do we know how he passed away? Was it just like I'm assuming it was just of old age or like
It was kryptonite.
okay. People are dying, Kim.
Sorry. Get
but
it? Because that's DC. That's a DC reference, and he's Marvel. Just kidding. All right.
girl.
Someone out there think that's funny besides me.
What is it on SpongeBob when he's like playing like the world's smallest violin?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know the song that he's doing there? Whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'm sad about that, and
Yeah, I'm sad he's not going to make any more cameos, but also
I know
his legacy.
What will he be in? What's the last movie he's going to be in? It's probably going to be Captain Marvel.
probably
right?
Captain Marvel. Well, they finished filming Avengers 4 too, right?
Oh yeah, they said it's like 3 hours now.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes,
that's what
it
they
is.
said.
Which was
I thought the last one was 3 hours.
which was 3 hours too short. I'm ready.
I thought the last one was a little too long.
It's
But you know what it was? I said last time, like I just felt like it was like too much. There was just too much. I couldn't really fully like enjoy it. Maybe I'll rewatch it when it comes on DVD or something, or Blu-ray.
And did you feel like that about Justice League?
No, because I didn't really enjoy Justice League like that, and I didn't expect to. I had a lot of expectations about. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I thought Justice League was gonna just be worthless, but I actually thought it was kind of a cute movie, mostly for Jason Momoa. But yeah, I really had higher expectations for the other one, and I just thought that there was just too much going on. There was just too much going on, and it made sense. That was what else could they do? That was the part of the story, but
Right.
For me personally, I was like, this is a good movie, but it's not for me. Yeah.
Damn.
All I can see is all I'm reading is just like how his life was, and
Well, I know like Stan Lee had some kind of like accusations against him like recently. Like I can't remember because I know like I know like his legacy's not like the best either. I'm not like super familiar with like a lot of Stan Lee's history, but I know that there's been like some things there. But I mean that kind of happens with everyone. But I'm not sure like what the status of the allegations are. So I'm actually curious if anyone knows like what happened with that.
He started working in the comic book business in 1939.
Yeah, girl, that's like when you think about it, it's like you go back like 20 years and we're barely at like 1998, and then you go back like what'd you say, 1930?
1939.
So 70 something more years, like 60 something more years. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, all I'm seeing is just that he died. So I'm assuming it was just old age. He was rushed to Cedars-Sinai.
Yeah.
Wow.
What is up with Cedars-Sinai, man?
It's
the celebrity.
It's
hospital,
the celebrity
isn't it?
hospital. That in like the UCLA Medical Center. Did
That's
I tell you
true.
that I was job hunting when UCLA was admitted to UCLA, when Lindsay Lohan was admitted to one of the UCLA hospitals. And so like I was fucking like blindsided by like paparazzi and shit everywhere. It was one of the craziest things I've ever experienced in my life. Never.
Speaking of geriatrics.
Uh-oh.
Wait, what's
next?
Oh, no. Oh, I was going to say, speaking of geriatrics, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, where are you going with this?
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, because I was
like-
gonna mention a different thing.
I was
but
like,
yeah.
is this shade? Like, I was like,
No,
Yeah.
just, our elderly heroes.
So she fell down some stairs.
and she fractured some ribs.
Yeah.
we
Three
fall
ribs.
down, but we get up.
So stupid.
We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. Oh, yes, we do.
For a saint
Is
is just a sinner
Who fell down, but he didn't stay there. and
got
up.
My mom loved that damn song. I had to listen to that on my way to school every goddamn morning.
Oh my god.
Donnie something.
Donnie McClurkin.
Was he gay? Is he alive?
Wait, is he the one that was gay? I think
Wasn't
he was
there
gay.
one that was like he was gay and he was delivered from
Oh
the spirit,
shit!
the
I
gay spirit or
remember my
something?
mom was like, "Girl," I remember my mom. She was like, "Bitch, let me tell." She was like, "Let me tell you the tea, bitch." I think it was Donnie McClurkin. And then remember when like Kirk Franklin came out and was like, "I had a porn addiction." Do you remember that?
I don't.
He like
Sorry, we're talking about Black
Ruth Bader
Gospel.
Ginsburg.
Sorry, yes. So Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
in the
Bader Ginsburg.
if we open your Bibles to the Book of Ruth, Bader Ginsburg.
So the point of that whole moment was that she did
fell
fall
down,
down, but she got back up. And she said, "Not today, Satan." I mean, in America, and actually the world, breathed a collective sigh of relief because
Truly.
what we don't need is another Trump appointee on the Supreme Court.
And she's the most liberal person on there. So it's like, if she goes, like, I think she knows too. Like, I feel like she's gonna be taking precautions to, like, stay as active and healthy as possible. But stop going upstairs about your damn self.
I know, right?
Like, how old is she?
Yeah, she needs a stair assistant.
Like,
you know what she needs? That little infomercial where you sit on the chair that goes up the stairs.
Yeah, like
That's what she
high
needs.
key. I want one of those. If I ever
Right.
have my own
Truly.
like 2-story house or however many
You
stories.
know, what if you just come home drunk one night? You just need a chair up the stairs.
No, John's drunk has to try to fuck on it.
That's
Actually-
a great idea.
Whatever.
Actually, that is a great
Actually.
idea.
T.
Speaking of politics, last week.
Oh
was it
yes,
last
there
week?
was an election.
Okay, queen of segues.
Yes.
I'm trying to keep us
She's
on
trying
the
to move
road
us
here.
along. Yes.
She's like, keep up! Keep up!
It was, as everyone knows, last week was the midterms, and shout out to everyone who voted. I saw it was like,
Brum, 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 brum.
Yes.
why were you laughing?
No, I was just laughing because Cash Doll tweeted, "We got to get out and vote for Hillary Clinton." And somebody was like, "Wrong election, but keep that same energy, baby."
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Josh. So we had a lot of firsts, right?
Yeah. Well, first I just want to say I love this year's enthusiasm. I loved all the everyone from all right.
No, just
Sorry.
keep going, Josh.
Okay.
Just
That
keep
took
going.
me out.
I mean, it was celebrities, folks that you didn't even talk to. Were like, let's go vote.
Oprah was going door to door,
Bitch, if Oprah canvassed me, we'd pay off my loans then, bitch.
right?
Like, fix Flint, bitch, instead of
Right.
you canvassing.
People on Grindr and the apps were just like, go
The
vote.
gay,
They
all
were
the
using
gays
their
and
sexuality.
Insta
I mean,
Yes.
We're doing their part.
as much as
yes.
I hate people doing, I'm proud of them for using their bodies or whatever to get.
I
people to vote.
I was encouraging. If actually, I made note of the white Instagays that did not make whole posts with their vote stickers on that day because you were not using your platform. But
Listen, I have a friend who actually posted on his Instagram story a picture of his ass, him bent over, and the picture over his hole is like, "Go vote."
Is
like literally.
Are you talking about? Is it that?
No.
Is he blonde?
No, he's not white.
Oh,
I saw some
the
people.
way you said that was like, duh.
If he's no, I'm just
No,
kidding.
it's just because I got 3 texts that day of this blonde dude holding his ankles up and his go vote sticker was covering his
I
hole.
say go for it.
But the part that took me out about the picture was it kind of he was in kind of the process of sucking in. So it was kind of
Okay.
so it was kind of so the sticker was kind of, it was
sucked in a
a
little.
little bit.
Wow, his sticker clocked
Wait, he put
him.
an actual sticker on his asshole?
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was photoshopped over.
No, he
Or,
stuck it on. So he's sitting
That's too much.
Yeah.
I actually kind of want to see it though.
I'll have to find it.
Okay.
I saw this one guy that was like, if you come through with your I voted sticker, I will S your D at my place or whatever. And I was like, wow.
Oh, there were a lot of those.
There was I mean, kudos to you for being creative.
Yeah.
So
Anyways,
wait, I'm gonna give the
Oh.
listeners a tip. So when things like that happen, when Folsom happens, or when this happens, when people are like, oh, I'll suck dick, if you vote, people take videos and they upload those to amateur sites. So if you ever
Oh.
want material, just saying.
Also, like,
You can search it.
I hope they voted correctly. I hope you're just not giving it away to anyone. Like, what if they voted Republican?
Oh, right. If you're a Republican, don't vote. If you're a Republican, don't register to vote. If you're a Republican, you don't have to register to vote, actually.
Or you could do the right thing and vote for a Democrat because, your party's not doing too great these days.
Oh, yeah, you can do that, too.
There's a lot of, I have a lot of friends who are like, I have like white family members who usually like are hardcore Republican voters. And this year they're voting, for Democrats. Or during the last election, they voted for Hillary. So, yeah.
All right. So, last week, a lot of firsts happened. The youngest woman ever elected to Congress. Shout out to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
And her fine, possibly gay brother.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, he may be gay. We don't know. We're still...
Brother Nature?
No.
She's
I wish.
29.
Don't they look alike, though?
She's 29, you guys. 29.
She's 29.
Yeah.
Did you see she was like talking to her constituents on Instagram Live?
No way.
Everyone's like, "This is the new wave. This is the future."
I saw some posts that like she's so like she still can't afford a 1-bedroom apartment in DC.
She can't. Yeah, until her thing
like,
kicks in.
Wow, you are a what is it? The youngest congresswoman, and you can't afford a 1-bedroom apartment?
Well, right now she will when she get that check.
If she was smart, she would go fund me.
Everyone she's running against, these like rich white men. Like, you know what I mean?
You know what was interesting too? Sorry, just to talk about her for a second, was that she was saying that she's not automatically for endorsing Nancy Pelosi as the Democratic leader. And I thought that was really important because the first thing that Nancy Pelosi said when she got her chance to speak after the election was that we're not going to go over after Republicans the way they came after us.
She said, bipartisanship
is the biggest and most important issue of all time. I was like, sis, they literally are stealing votes and your ass is talking about civility?
But yes, we must be nice.
But anyway, yes, shout out to her.
All right. So next on the list of first is Sharice Davids. She is the first lesbian Native American woman elected to Congress. Like, wow.
And she's like a former MMA fighter.
Like,
badass.
No way. What?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So,
she's like, vote for me, bitch.
I think that's really great, especially for the Native American community that like this was your land first, and so it's great to see someone.
That's insane.
This is in Kansas City, you said?
I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, Kansas.
Okay.
Imagine being the first Native person elected to American. This country's ass backwards, girl. The ghetto.
All right. Next on the list of first is Lou Leon Guerrero, who is the first woman governor of Guam.
Ooh, yes.
Ayanna Pressley, first black woman Massachusetts has elected to Congress.
Didn't Guam also flip a seat too?
I don't know about that one.
I don't know either.
I think they were the first. They're considered a territory?
Yeah, U.S. territory.
Yeah, I think they were the first place to flip a seat, actually.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Jared Polis is the first openly gay governor of the U.S.
Jesus Christ. I remember on Twitter when he got announced, like, someone had put in all the gays tweet, like, you're searching, like, who Jared Polis is.
Wow.
Governor of... I'm so sorry. It's not saying. Next on the list of first is Marsha Blackburn, first woman of Tennessee. She's from Tennessee, sorry.
The first woman born in Tennessee.
First woman Tennessee has elected to U.S. Senate. I can't read today. Rashida, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong. Rashida Tlaib, the first Muslim woman elected to Congress and first Palestinian American woman elected to Congress.
Really?
Yeah. That's amazing.
No, that's huge, actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then,
wow.
I'm saying this.
Congress really has just been full of old white people. Like, for real. Like, do you guys realize that America's been around for what, like 300 something years or whatever, however many years?
Yeah.
I don't know. And like,
it's like 200 or something.
Something like that. Columbus.
I mean, it's been around. For
it's been
400 years as like an American, as like a Western country. But
I don't know when people consider is it 1788 or something?
Yeah,
I don't know, something like that.
200 and something years.
However long. But do you realize that the whole time that Congress has been literally like 90% white and like no one has like rioted about that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally one race of people has been making the decision. Like, do people not see a problem with that?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm glad things are changing. And then
Hopefully they continue to do so.
Like, that's
Yeah.
literally insane.
Then Elon Omar? Sorry.
Oh,
She's
Musk?
also first Muslim woman elected to Congress and first Somali American elected to
Yes.
Congress.
Where is this again?
So,
It doesn't say.
America.
Minnesota?
I was just gonna say that would be
Sorry.
so awesome because there's a huge Muslim North African population
In Minnesota?
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Can you do a Minnesotan accent?
No.
What is it?
I can. Don't you know?
Oh!
Leprechaun.
Yeah.
No, that's not. Leprechaun.
Oh, wait, so there was another, sorry. Deborah Haaland is also the first Native American woman elected to Congress.
Wait.
What
do you mean?
There were two
Oh.
two women were Muslim, so
Okay.
they're both the first, I guess.
But you
I
said
suppose.
she says she's also the first Native American woman?
Yeah.
So okay.
Because
Got
it
it.
happened
So
at the
another
same
is
time.
two. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Veronica Escobar and Sylvia Garcia, first Latina woman elected to Congress from Texas.
What? That's
So-
crazy. Texas and California, like that's really crazy.
That's like
Sorry.
we got Texas like it's not we got it from
But didn't
we got them from Mexico.
what,
Like,
They don't. They don't get what?
what's his name in Texas Lost? The one that Beyonce
Beto
was.
O'Rourke.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh.
everyone
I
was
don't-
like blaming Beyonce for it. Like, oh
Yeah.
my god, Beyonce waited too late. Like, you really thought there was that many people? Like, and first of all, 95% of black women voted for Beto O'Rourke.
Oop, period.
So who did y'all think Beyonce was reaching?
First of all,
Certainly not the 59% of white women that voted for
let's talk about it. I'm glad you brought that up.
Ted Cruz.
Because all you bored bitches over here talking about, oh my god, Beyonce. Okay, so first of all, if you're relying on Beyonce for your political news in the last 2 to 3 years, reevaluate your life. Second, Beyonce had literally tends to register to people to vote at every single US date at the on the run tour too. She also sent
about it.
She also sent out a thing to her personal Beehive fan member thing and Jay-Z's list to vote for him in Texas. And most of Beyonce's fans are registered to vote anyway. Second of all, if you want to talk about like her advertising thing, her target was black women, and guess what they did? Voted Democrat. So what's your crusty ass excuse?
Crusty ass.
If anything, these people should be addressing their racist ass family members
How
at their
about
dinner
that?
tables. Like, y'all expecting random ass black people to be more responsible than you expect the people that you're related to and sit down to eat with.
Y'all over
every
here blaming people that literally checked Democrat when there are white people that checked Republican, and you're mad at the people. Bye. Like, how about you check the white people that voted for them? How about you check your white friends that you said that you tell your friends of color, oh, they didn't mean that or whatever, and you still keep them around. Check them because they're making those jokes, and then they're going in there and then they're checking R when they're voting. So like, stop blaming. But I'm so sick of that. Every time something happens, it's always black people's fault.
Somebody was like, even people were just like, oh, well, like, look at the Latinos now. And I'm just like, first of all, a lot of Latinos are not are white. So that's number one.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, 59% of white women still voted for him. And what was it, like 70% of white men did? So like,
even more, 71, I think.
71% of white men voted for Ted Cruz. Talk about that. Like, there's so many people that we could be talking about before y'all even get to anybody else.
But y'all don't want to take responsibility for yourselves, and you just want to scapegoat black people because that's what everyone does, right? But whatever. Suck my dick.
It was interesting to see. Someone posted this iconograph of like how different ethnicities were voting. And
Wait,
like,
iconic graph or iconograph?
iconograph?
Okay.
Isn't that what they're called?
I don't know. I was just asking for clarification.
Oh, well, you know, like at presentation.
No, I know what it is. I just
Okay.
didn't know which one you said. That's
But,
all.
yeah, someone was like tracking, like there was a blue and red wave, and then the ethnicities sort of would kind of go like this, and like a lot of Asian folks were voting Republican at first, but it wasn't until like, I don't know, the 90s that the wave started to go to blue, which was interesting for us.
Did you see the map, like when the presidential election happened, where like someone went, I don't know how accurate this is, but I remember seeing it on Facebook, which maybe not accurate at all, but of like if different people voted and they took out like, so it was like if white people didn't vote, like literally every state was like completely blue. Like
That's
if
crazy.
white men didn't vote, every state was completely blue. Like in every situation where there was no white people, or men were not the majority, it was always blue. And in the only times when actually men were the majority It was Democrat for most of the majority of them, other than white men, actually. Yeah. And I think white women, it was like blue too, but like barely.
Yeah.
Or it was like neck and neck with like white women.
Well, and I think that's a part of the thing that we're seeing a lot more of as well. I mean, we've always seen it, but it's just the presumption of innocence when it comes to white women. Like, I mean, just even
shake the table, base.
Yeah, I mean, white supremacy has always kind of been based on protecting like white women, right?
Yeah.
Like Jim Crow and like keeping the races separate. It was always like the black men are a threat to white women, and so you need to protect white women, and to protect white womanhood, we have to subjugate black people.
Did you guys see Chelsea Handler on Ellen when she was
I didn't, but go ahead.
she was making the statement? She was like, you know, we have to start listening to black people, especially black women, if we want to turn this country around. And Ellen was just kind of like, it was interesting that the crowd was like
silent.
Yeah, like
silent.
It was interesting that they were so silent. I was like, huh, you guys are watching.
They're usually like,
lesbian. Yeah.
No, it was like awkward watching the video.
It wasn't until Ellen was like started clapping that everyone else started clapping.
That's literally what happened.
Like she had to cue everyone. Like, yeah, she's.
And I actually have to say, I'm actually really impressed with Chelsea Handler because she was annoying.
She did a turnaround. She wrote in her first. She wrote in that book, and I refused to even read it because I was reading excerpts from it, and it was like talking about how when she was a teenager or a young adult, she would date black men to get back at her father.
Fuck.
And I'm just like, even if you did do that, why would you admit that?
Now she's
publicly?
making a documentary on white privilege.
Yeah, she was literally like I read. She was like, I sat back and I realized like I needed to shut the fuck up, and I just read. And she was like, from what I've heard, she was just like, I didn't even ask. Like I just went and I just did my research and I just read books.
Yeah.
And she was like, you have to read stuff from people that don't look like you.
Damn.
Especially, she was like, if you're white and like you won't get it if you don't do that. And this is what she was saying like on Ellen.
You know what that is?
Growth. But that's why the audience was dead silent because like when it pans to the audience, it's like all white women.
Yeah.
And so they're just sitting there pissed because they know.
What? Like, as much as I hate this kind of shit, but like they're not going to listen to anyone else unless if it was another white woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's
true. Good for her
that
for using her
happen.
platform. Yeah.
And we need to see more of that.
Absolutely.
What else do we?
Yeah, so Ariana's debut, number one.
She's been named Billboard's Woman of the Year for 2018.
She deserves.
Yeah.
I felt like she should have got it last year, to be honest, instead of...
I really thought Dangerous Woman was like... I do think Dangerous Woman is better than Sweetener.
I agree. I think most of her albums are better than Sweetener.
But I didn't really start listening to her until Dangerous Woman. That was like the album I was like, oh, this bitch is good.
But it's also... Isn't last year when she threw the benefit concert for Manchester and and she didn't get Woman of the Year for that? Like,
wait, didn't Dangerous Woman come out in like 2016? That was Beyonce's year. So.
But last year was 2017.
Oh, but you saying? Never mind. Sorry. Never mind. You're right.
Yeah.
And she's coming out with another album, right?
I know.
I think it's called Thank You Next.
Wow.
Like
it's just like the gift that keeps on giving.
What do you think it's gonna be like? And what do you want to be on?
I think it's just gonna be a lot of like self love and like being one with yourself and shit. Honestly, that's what Thank You Next is giving me. Anyway, being emotionally stable is like what that was gonna be like.
Being emotionally stable. Yeah, can't relate. Do you? Okay, so really quick about her. Do you find it weird when she like cusses in music?
Yeah.
Like what?
I love her yes.
I love her yeah and her yeah.
Her yeah.
Like whenever she like whenever.
Sorry, have you seen that video?
No.
It's like this white girl in a car and she's like yeah. No.
Is that like white?
You mean
people's,
Ariana
like,
Grande?
It's not Ariana Grande.
Is that like white people's like mating call? You know when they in the
like
forest?
It's I don't know what. Oh, girl, shut up.
They like yell yeah.
Maybe and then they come.
What do white people yell back?
I can't.
Okay, wait. So, Baze, I'll be the first one you respond. Okay. Yeah.
Girl, I don't know.
Oh.
I do not know.
Yeah, but I just find it weird when she cusses in music. Like it always, like I still can't help but look at her as like a 12-year-old, and I'm really trying not.
She's a full 25-year-old
She's a woman.
I know, but she just like I was watching this video of her like doing an Australian accent, and she looked like a kid, and I was like, girl. I know she's a woman, but I can't. It's just she looks young anyway. But I love her to death.
So yeah, what was funny the other day? Sorry, I was reading something. Renee was like,
Renee!
That is not the name of the
Sarita.
Rini was talking about
Rini Hernini.
Rini Hernini was talking about her darkening her skin. He was like, okay, so actually, I didn't even think about this one, and I forgot that we need to talk about this. But
What?
actually, this can go into our next topic: nigger fishing.
Oh my God.
Which is this new thing that we discovered
no.
this week. It's this new thing that we discovered this week, and somebody pointed out that maybe Ariana has been nigger fishing.
Wait, can you...
How?
So I will explain
To our
to y'all.
listeners.
This is so dumb.
So recently, a user on Twitter, I don't even remember who that was or the thread, but I guess it spawned a lot of different threads on Twitter. And so a lot of white women from Europe, from Northern Europe, a lot like Swedish women have been found to be darkening their skin to look black or usually black. I was gonna say or Latino, but like usually just very specifically black. They're trying to go for that like insta baddie light skinned girl look with the like slightly curly hair. Like there's this one girl who, if you looked at any of her pictures, she would literally just look like a black girl. And she even had like her hair. She did something to her hair to make it look textured. And she darkened her skin.
Oh my God.
I know the one you're talking about.
Like a real, like, genuine black girl. Like the girl, actually, I think maybe even the girl who posted it looked very similar. The girl who posted it was actually black, and she looked very similar to the girl who posted it.
Like,
and I was shook when I saw what she actually looked like. And this particular girl, actually, I need to go back and do some research because she actually did look like she had something else going on.
So this is the thing. I saw that. I know the picture you're talking about too, and I was like, there is no. If that was makeup, like. You're using your talents for blackface, girl? Like,
right? But it was makeup. She definitely was darkening her skin. The question is, I was like, is she white?
Oh.
Because I was like, I still, even with the white pictures, I was like, I'm not convinced about her. But the rest of them were all a bunch of white girls who were like, even changing the shapes of their bodies. There was one girl that looked like, she was just like stick skinny. And she came out with like...
basically talking about the Kardashians at this point. Like, darkening your skin, getting the curves, getting the lip implants.
Kim keeps getting dragged for using like black emojis, and she like even does this.
Kim uses black emojis?
Like the skin is dark?
She's gotten dragged for using like black emojis. And she even had like a fan drew like a cartoon of the Kardashians or something, and she reposted it, and it was like all of them, but they were like dark skinned.
That is weird.
Yeah,
that's just weird.
They're an odd bunch indeed.
That's odd. Yeah, that's okay.
But so this spawned a different conversation. There was one girl who was called out because she was a white girl who was airbrushing her eyelids so that she looked like she had a monolid, and so she was pretending to be Asian.
What's that? Is that Asian fishing?
She was Asian. I don't know. I'm not coming up with the term for that one.
Yellowfish.
Listen,
whatever you
want
to call it. Yeah,
I support you in all that you do.
Yeah. Period.
But yeah, so she was doing that. They got her to delete.
Crazy.
She had like 11K followers on Instagram, and they ran her out of there.
That is amazing.
They got her out the
to
fuck
me.
out of there.
Oh wow, this is a whole discourse.
Why?
Because it's cute, it's trendy.
She wanted to look Asian.
A lot of K-pop, like a lot of girls are.
A lot of girls want to look
girls.
Asian. They get these
the contacts that make their eyes look super big.
Like
their
anime girls.
Yeah.
But
and then
they go to Asia many times, and they tell you about it many times, and then they learn Korean.
Yeah.
So
and then they'll be the first ones to tell you how many times they've been to Korea or China,
how much they love Korean culture.
I'm just like,
wow.
Whoa.
So has this been going on for just like a really long time? Because
and we're just now noticing.
Because I was shook at how long the thread was. Because it's like
there was a lot of girls in there.
They were for real. And
one girl even got her boyfriend in there, and his hair looked atrocious. He was trying to do like the little fuckboy shave sides with like the cornrows on the top into a man bun.
He was white.
He was white. He was white.
Oh
yeah, it was not cute.
I don't even know how to feel because it's just like what?
I was just astounded. I was like, that's a lot of work to put into it. Like, and then you have to like put it all over your body. You can't just put it on your face.
That's what I'm thinking because it's like, okay.
Does it get on your clothes?
If we take the racism out of it, right? Yeah. Like, let's talk about the like racism aside, right? Like, let's talk about the logistics. Cause this is what I'm so confused about when white people choose to do this. And like, you're choosing racism over like logic. Okay. So in order to get the amount of full body makeup that you have to do, because these girls are literally taking like full body pictures in like full body blackface, full body blackface,
full body black.
How do you go back to work the next day and all of a sudden your coworkers are like, "Did you just change the?" You know that gif of Christina Aguilera on the computer just like clicking away,
right?
You know, like when ethnicity comes up, they're like black. These girls are so ready to click. I'm like, ugh.
It's like y'all are going through a whole team. It's like that takes like at least 4 hours. Like, and then on top of that, you're wearing the makeup for what, like 20 to 30 minutes to take a picture for Instagram, and then you're gonna run it through a filter and then post it online, and then you take all that makeup off. How much did that
these
shit
girls
cost
were out.
you?
Some of these girls were outside, so they went somewhere in this look.
So these girls are out.
Like y'all are going. Like what happened? Like what happens if someone hugs you?
Imagine going to the club and like sweating and you have all that makeup on you.
Well, I know that a lot of this is like like, you know, when people get spray bronzer and then it's like semi-permanent, but still, I don't know. And it's just
I don't understand. I've just never understood the
babies are going to be
fascination.
white, like.
Well, they might unless they get with
true.
What I don't understand is why do people that are lighter skinned do that? Like continue to like do shit like this, and then like
mental illness.
Oh,
well, I really do think that there's I think there's like got to be some type of a mental situation going on here.
Wow, you didn't have to go that deep.
I didn't finish the sentence.
Oh, okay.
I was just going to say, well, I mean, I was going to say do that and then shit on dark skinned people at the same time. It's just like.
Well, I think those particular ones are not doing it. I don't think those particular ones are doing it. I feel like they are like, they think that they admire it, so they think they're different. And so they think it's like it's actually a...
But I feel like all these people aren't trying to be dark-skinned black people. They're trying to be like medium to light-skinned black people.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I mean, but that's what the Kardashians...
Like, no one's trying to catfish me and you's color.
That's what the Kardashians are trying to do.
You know what's funny? When these girls, like, go to the makeup counter and they're like, oh, finally they have my color. Like,
right?
Like, go to Fenty, like, oh, thank God we have...
I, too, struggle with finding my shade. Some Rachel Dolezal. Anyway, I don't really know much about this, but do you guys feel like Ariana is, like, Latina fishing? Because if you look at her older pictures, she was fair.
Look,
she was fair and lovely.
Remember her on the Disney Channel? Like,
and
come on.
Her lips were quite thin.
Thin, pale, like.
Are we forgiving her because of her talent?
Wait, is Grande actually her last name?
It's supposedly pronounced Grande.
What?
Not even Grande. It's supposed to be pronounced Grande.
Wait a minute. Let me just...
Like, this is like Lana Del Rey to me. It's like no one talks about the fact that her name is Lana Del Rey and she's a white bitch.
Well, nobody thought Lana Del Rey was Latina.
I know that, but like no one, but like if anyone else did that, they'd be dragged. So I'm just kind of...
Well, I mean, Ariana is doing it. She ain't getting dragged.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, it's just funny how...
She is the daughter of Joan Grande and daughter of Edward Butera. She is Italian, American, Sicilian, and half Abruzese. Abruzese origin. I don't know what
Abruzese.
Abruzzese.
Well, I don't know what that is.
Is that in Africa somewhere?
Let me find out.
Well, she is Sicilian, and a lot of Sicilians get discriminated against because they're dark Italians.
You know how people want Donald Trump to release his tax returns? I want her to release her 23andMe.
Yes.
Like, just show it to... Yeah. Oh, it's Italian.
Yeah.
So she's 3 different types of Italian.
Wow. So she's dark white.
Did you guys hear about her brother getting with that couple?
Yes.
I was gonna talk about it last week, but I was like, I don't care about this.
I just thought the memes were funny.
Somebody said they're just trying to get Ariana.
They said whatever it takes to meet Ariana.
No, is it whatever it takes for sweetener tickets?
Oh my God, I'm sick.
And it's just like, how does that guy have 2 boyfriends? They can't even get one.
He looks like a French fry to me, but it's okay.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
So then are we adjourned? Is Ariana A-okay?
She's fine with me. Bye. Thank you next.
You know what? I think I'm so desensitized of the skin darkening, like in terms of like a lifestyle, I guess, in that regard. Because of the Kardashians?
Like, I can't complain about Ariana Grande, and then I put her darkened cover on the podcast preview last week. Like,
yeah, like I'm sticking to my guns. I'm wrong.
I can't.
I don't know. I feel a way about it, but I also still enjoy her. So I think I'm just like, it's like Obama. Like, I hate that he bombed random countries, but I also love that he was the first black
wow,
president.
Damn, dark.
Well,
I don't know.
I was actually
Speaking
listening
of
to a
dark,
podcast
Ariana Grande.
I was listening to a podcast about that on the way here,
Yeah.
actually. But
I mean, it's the duality of man.
Duality.
duality.
Okay, real quick. Fuck Victoria's Secret. They said they don't want to have fat women or trans women on the runway because it's a fantasy. But you know, the real fantasy is thinking that it's still relevant in 2018.
Because who watched it?
Victoria's Secret fashion show hasn't been relevant since like 2006. Like, where's Naomi? Where's Tyra? Where's Adriana Lima? Even after this year, where's Giselle? You know what I mean? Like,
where's the models of color?
All the iconic models that like walked Victoria's Secret, all the ones that made it fun. Like, even you go back and look at like when Justin Timberlake performed at the show. I used to watch it religiously because I used to live for it. My little gay ass used to live.
That's
for those
how you
shows
knew
with them.
these were little gays. If you were
Girl.
looking forward
Yes.
to the
I
Victoria's
would put like a little brooms on my back and pretend they were wings and just walk and strut down the hallway.
Did you say brooms?
Yeah.
You put brooms on your back
Yes,
as wing?
girl.
We
Wow.
stand.
Girl, I was poor.
I'm standing.
No.
This is creative.
She is the
bitch.
unconventional challenge of Project Runway. She said,
Yes.
yes. Brooms on my
Did
back.
I knock a lot of things over? Yes. Were there
Project
a lot of marks
Runway?
on the walls? Yes.
But was the house swept? Yes.
Yes.
Is it a Project Runway design challenge or a RuPaul's Drag Race design challenge?
Project Runway.
Okay.
In any
Oh.
case,
Oh.
go ahead.
No, sorry. Go
Oop.
ahead.
Well, just in any case, it just isn't what it used to be anymore. So I'm just like, fuck you guys. Trans women, neither trans women nor fat women need any representation. Well, I mean, they could actually use the representation.
I was like,
Whoa.
Let me not speak.
Dial that back.
I was like,
Dial that back.
I was like, uh-oh.
By Victoria's Secret, you mean?
But Victoria's
Yeah.
Secret itself is like on its way out, honestly. And like really like the people that they have walking the fantasy that they're selling is fucking Kendall Jenner like clugging across the dance the runway.
Clicking across the
You know what
chamber
I
of
mean?
secrets.
Right? Looking
And-
like
They need to get Harry and his jeggings up there.
girl
And the jutes.
girl, they got him, they got her, sorry. They got Kendall Jenner, they got fucking what's Gigi Hadid, and they don't even know how to walk. Like they literally clunk across the stage. Like these girls are supposed to glide. It's supposed to be a fantasy, as he says.
When homegirls up there walking like that,
it's
it's
quiet.
quiet.
Actually, it's clunky, but this is interesting timing because this week, actually, November 12th through the 19th is Transgender Awareness Week,
Mm.
and November 20th is Transgender Day of Remembrance. So, you're fucking up,
Your
guys.
timing was
Victoria's
not
Secret
great.
is you guys are fucking up.
The guy apologized, but nobody.
No, that was trash.
Ed Rozek, who is the CMO of L Brands, Victoria's Secret's parent company, apologized, but ain't nobody giving a fuck about that at this point. Like, girl, put it on the stage, put it on the runway, or keep it on the playground. Nobody cares.
Good luck booking that stage you speak of, Victoria's Secret. Y'all peaked when Rihanna walked down that runway and fucking ended all the models.
Honestly,
Like
that really was that was it.
Yeah.
Once that happened, it was over.
that was it. I was like, how do you get? You don't get better than this.
Gaga screeching across the stage was not it. It was over by then.
Wait, when did she do that?
She did that like last year. I think.
For
Yeah.
Joanne?
Yeah.
Joanne, the fashion show?
Oh, you know when she starts doing rock, she's like, ah!
Is that Bjork?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, listeners.
Sorry. Liz.
That's okay.
Joanne.
Joanne, the fashion show sounds absolutely terrible.
I don't think it was Joanne.
Here we go.
Was that Mario?
Oh, wait.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Wait,
It's
I
me,
forgot why you
Mario.
mentioned RuPaul earlier.
Oh, because we were talking about design challenges.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of, I was going to segue to that.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of RuPaul, All Stars 4, the cast has released. It is,
Oh, who?
Mon-
Okay.
It's Monet Exchange, Latrice Royale,
Ooh.
Trinity Taylor, Pheromone, Valentina, Monique Hart, Jasmine Masters.
Jasmine Masters.
Wait.
Naomi Smalls, Gia Gunn, and Manila Luzon.
Okay.
Wait.
Jasmine
I was rooting for Valentina, but now that Jasmine Masters is on there,
I mean,
Wait a
come on,
minute.
the Jush is back.
she better bring her commentary.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. This is going to be everything.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Latrice and Jasmine in the same season? Oh, bitch.
And then I'm really glad there's a trans woman on the show this season,
Who?
Gia Gunn,
Oh, okay.
and actually, it's interesting that I saw this meme that was like, "There's only 2 white women on the show this season."
So the
Oh.
top
and then,
two.
and then and there was this the meme that said RuPaul was like, "Yeah, and I'm still gonna crown that bitch." Like,
So the top two were those two
the
bitches.
2 white girls are Trinity Taylor and Pheromone. Everyone else is like, only I don't know Pheromone and Trinity Taylor. So let me take
Bitch.
that back. But
If Pheromone wins over these other...
I mean,
Bitch,
yeah. So it's nice.
You have a better chance of winning All Stars than Pheromone.
It's Chad Michaels, Alaska Thunderfuck, Trixie Mattel, and then the fourth girl hopefully is a girl of color because these past three girls have been blonde. No, I mean no offense to blonde. I'm just saying. Anyway,
yeah. So
else?
last but not least, Michelle Williams,
the ghetto.
Wait, which one?
the
Look,
black.
okay.
Michelle
If you guys
Williams.
Google fixed it, but do you guys remember a few weeks ago when we were talking about this? If you
Yeah.
had Googled Destiny's Child, they put the members Beyonce, and then under Michelle Williams was the white Michelle
Was the
Williams.
white Michelle
so
Williams,
I mean, come
yeah.
on.
So
undertaking her greatest role yet.
wait, do you legit not know which one we're talking about?
I don't legit know.
We're
But
talking
now,
about Destiny's Child, Michelle
Okay,
Williams.
okay.
What?
yeah. Which
Why
one?
would we talk about the white one?
So her and her
So-
yeehaw husband
He husband.
has some odd conversation.
Yes, they had a conversation. So they have their show on Owned, and stop asking. Beyonce's not coming on this damn show.
Did you say owned?
Own
Oh.
Oprah's. I know that's confusing to you because it's a black women's network. It's
damn
owned
it.
by a black woman
Every episode. We almost went through this whole episode. Sorry, keep going.
without misogynoir, or without me calling it out.
Oh,
See?
God.
See when you do counter. Anyway, so Michelle and her husband, his name is Chad, got into like a thing on their show where pretty much Michelle had said something to the effect of, I had it on my phone and then it froze. Okay. So she said, I quote, I said something to him on the lines of, well, Chad, because you are not black, you would not understand why I communicate the way I do. Maybe because you didn't grow up around a lot of black people. So that was very offensive to Chad, Michelle recalled. And this is not to justify it, but yesterday when we had the disagreement, he said, did you take your meds today? Michelle told her counselor.
Oh my god.
Chad says, and then it says, I'm reading this from hiphopvibe.com. It says, Chad says he apologized for his comments, but he was upset that she brought up his race. Like, how are you engaged to someone without having... How?
This is absolute garbage.
I'm so disappointed.
and I'm just
can't.
hoping this isn't going to become another Tamara situation.
Oh.
But she's like, and I learned a very powerful lesson that day that, I shouldn't bring up his race because it might hurt him and then he might make light of my mental illness.
Ooh. You know that like awkward smile emoji with the teeth? Like, ooh.
Yeah.
It's just like...
He's definitely not allowed around Beyonce after this.
Period. I really just feel disappointed because I'm wondering if she feels like I just want someone that loves me and like a Christian man that's come along and I'll take this because whatever. And I'm wondering if that has to do, because I know she's very been open about like her battles with like
Depression,
mental illness and depression. And I'm wondering, because that sometimes happens where you feel like you can settle for whatever. And I think it's really important to mention that, and we say this all the time, like, especially in interracial situations like that like putting white people on a pedestal and acting like you have some prize because you have a white person or dating them is not any, like, to me, that's not anything to be like celebrated. Like if you date a white person, whatever, but you're not special because of it. And I'm not saying that Michelle thinks that, but like this shit is like symptomatic of that or like of something to me, like else or something else going on.
Yeah. Well, all I can honestly say is it's fucked up, but I hope that they can fix it. Because I don't think that it's a shitty thing, but in relationships, people frequently do shitty things to each other, and sometimes people have different experiences, have shitty responses. And while I'm not necessarily a fan of this and probably wouldn't fuck with him after this, they got like a whole marriage plan. So I would hope that something that he can learn from and is not going to be stubborn about.
Like, how did you interracial date during the 2016 election and not talk about race? What?
I mean, it's possible that they did, and maybe he still just got in his feelings because of it. Sorry, go ahead, John.
I was just going to say, I was going to make a bad joke and say, because when Jesus say yes, no
Oh.
one can say no.
Oh my God. But they haven't had sex.
What?
So on their show, they haven't had sex or anything like that.
That is a lie.
Oh
no,
my God.
they're like Christian.
Oh, Lord.
Like he's a
Anyway.
pastor.
Okay, well, Anyway,
Well,
I
yeah.
wasn't stop talking about
They
this.
said, and on that note,
on that note, this has been Minutes of Color, and we will be back with the
Discoursing.
Hello, and welcome back to the Discourse.
Cut or uncut?
Wait, I gotta do this I gotta do this for Renee. Just over here discoursing.
Oh, I missed that.
We miss you, Renee.
can you do Renee's Stitch voice?
No.
Oh my God! Wait, wait!
Wow. No, this is Renee. Ah! I'm fine.
I'm fine. Everything's fine. What's wrong, Renee? It's fine.
Nothing.
Nothing's okay. Wait. Are you have you not said any words and you're a Gemini? Oh, that makes so much sense. That makes sense. Did I just meet you 2 seconds ago?
This is me. Yeah.
Are you a Cancer?
Oh, that
okay.
makes sense.
That makes so much sense. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Scorpio. Mm-hmm.
I'm dead.
Okay, but what's their rising?
No, what's the right? You're dead. I mean, whoa. Whoa.
Okay, so
Anyway, hello, darkness, smile.
What we're talking about today for the discourse is the concept of busyness. I was having dinner with a friend in New York a few months ago, and we were just talking. I don't remember, girl. Time is a concept.
Time is a man-made
Time is a construct.
Yeah. Construct. I said concept.
Time is flat.
So we were talking, and they were saying that they were tired of the performance of busyness and
busy culture.
And in New York, I think it's more of a thing than here. I think people are a little bit more chill and relaxed out here. But in New York, it's like you have to be busy, and if you're not busy, then you're doing something wrong. Are you doing 20 things right now? What other things could you be doing on top of that? You need to be stressed at all times and running from point A to point B. And at no time should you be resting or having a moment to yourself to just be calm. At no point should you just be leisure and hanging out with friends, whatever. Everything has to be aggressive. Even the concept, even like going to a party or going to a club, it's all like this, like, it's also aggressive in New York, and I love some aspects of it because it does keep you motivated to continue to work on yourself and the things that you're doing, the projects that you want to work on. But it also is like, it can be very suffocating because you have people asking, like, what else are you doing? Like, you could be like, I'm doing 20 things, and they'll be like, well, so what else are you doing? And so there's constantly people running from parties, running from shoots, running from writings, running from whatever. And it can kind of get ugly, I think. And when we were having this conversation, they were saying that, we were talking about how unhealthy it is to be so busy that you don't have any time to be around the people you enjoy or to be around yourself, to just enjoy yourself. So, did y'all have any thoughts about that?
I have a question though.
Yeah.
I'm just making an observation. Like, busy culture is like very performative, right?
Yes.
And
it doesn't mean you're not busy. It just means that you're performing it.
I feel like, do you notice like what types of careers these folks have? Because I feel like busy performative is performative, and the most performative thing is like social media. Yes, so
it's
thank you.
Creative, yeah.
It's people in like the creative field that are always like, on my hustle, gonna make this bread, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm over here in the medical community, like I'm in the hospital all day, and none of us is posting like, gonna make this bread today, like gonna go hustle. You know, we're like, people are dying. We don't need to perform that we're busy. You know, like, I don't know. I just like, from my observation, this seems like a creative.
I think part of it is that you do have to hustle when you're in a creative field, because the thing about that is, like,
now I feel shitty.
You're getting no, but you to an extent you do, because so let's say you're making a lot of money. That's great, but are you making that a lot of money consistently? Are you getting that money on time?
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, you could be doing like super well, and you could be getting like, I don't know, like a $5,000 check. But you don't see another $5,000 check for like 6 months or 7 months.
You got to stay booked.
Exactly. You have to stay booked and busy in order to continue to make a living for yourself.
Can I ask a quick question before we continue? What defines performative busyness? What does that mean?
I guess
actions?
I guess it's even just,
like, what does that mean? Saying that I'm doing something, like being like I'm on set? Is that being performative?
No.
I
think it's like
it's the constantly letting everyone know that you're busy. constantly reminding everyone that you're busy. You know what I mean?
I
Not
think-
as the, like, sorry, go ahead, John.
I think like on social media, the way I perceive this is like yeah, at my job doing this, got this done, whatever, tag, and it's never like just chilling with my family or like taking it. I don't know. It is basically the opposite of performative like self-care, folks. You know, everyone's like self-care, like just relaxing, hiding in like staying at home for self-care. It is like the polar opposite. These people are like busy, doing something, and I'm just like, girl, we get it.
I guess for me, like, and I don't want this to sound harsh, but like this whole like topic revolves around someone giving a fuck about what someone else is doing and not what they're doing.
I mean,
in my opinion, if it bothers you to that point, like if the topic is like performative business, like annoys people to the point where like they can, like, they're having like conversations about it, like,
yeah, but the person I was having a conversation with it is booked and busy and is constantly having to travel for work and is a creative and is doing all
that's
these
why
things.
I don't understand. Like, I mean, that's why I'm a little bit confused, because to me, if you are doing those things, why do you care if other people?
But it's not because like it comes off very braggy. Like they have to let you know that they're busy. Like, okay, girl, I get it. You're very successful. You got a job, but like, oh well, I'm working with so and so on this day, and I'm doing this on this day. And it's like, cool, but like, how are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, don't tell me about the work. Like, how are you doing? I want to talk to you.
What's going on with you outside of the things?
A lot of these people identify by
as
how busy they are.
That's their pronouns, busy.
well,
she, her, him, busy.
Well, I'm gonna push back on you guys for a little bit, and so the reason I'm going to do that is because like, I'm still going to stick to my point in that, like, if I understand if this is coming from the perspective of like friends to another friend, like, okay, you were busy, like whatever. But if it's just like a random person that just sees some random person on an Instagram story, like, to me, it's like, mind your business.
But I'm talking about a culture of it. I'm not just talking about like, okay, like this specific person. I'm talking about like, especially in New York, like I said, it's much less of a thing out here in LA. But in New York, it is like a pressure to constantly be busy.
Like, have you been on a date with someone or just know someone in general who just like, so we're in LA, right? And I feel like this happens in New York too and other major cities, but like people just name dropping. Like, I met this guy, like, I went on a date with this guy.
Okay,
like, I know Beyonce's people and blah, blah,
got
blah.
It.
Like, okay, I get it. You have a job.
Okay, got it.
You know what I mean? Like,
okay, now I understand what you were talking about. Because I was a little bit confused as to, like, the concept of what that was. Now I get the kind of person you're talking about. Okay, those kind of people are annoying as fuck.
Or relate everything they do back to their work.
Yeah.
Like, there's sometimes I have to take a break from, like, a lot of, like, publishing people because everything is publishing all the time, 24/7. We're talking about books, and I need that time. Like, I sometimes want to be like, hey, like, let's talk about other things, and it's always like books. And it's like, even in this field where people are like they're creative, and even some of these people are getting a consistent check and they don't have to like hustle, but but in the way you do, because you're trying to move up in the world or whatever. And it's still like that same, like, this is what we do. I eat, breathe, and sleep this, and this is what everything is about. And I'm busy all the time with this thing, and I'm busy. And there's some people who are different about it in regards to like how they hustle. So they're like, okay, well, I do this thing, but I also do this thing over here, and then I'm also doing this thing. So sis, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you doing more? Why can't you do this? Because I'm killing myself right now. I'm not living or being happy right now. Why aren't you doing the same thing for yourself? And I think that it's not necessarily just like, oh, I just see this person like being booked and busy, and I'm just being a hater because they are busy and like doing what they love. It's like, there's a culture around it that puts pressure on you to not be happy or just take time to relax or take time to like be around the people that you love. Instead, it's like, oh, you got to be constantly doing shit.
Yeah. So like we had talked about before. So this was like a personal thing for me because I feel like I'm on both sides of this, because I feel like on one hand I'm like that, and that is a lot of what my life is, my work. But I'm gonna defend creatives a little bit, because I think you guys have to understand that for a lot of these people, that's all they have, right? Like, a lot of these people that are doing these creative fields, like, I'm not obsessed with photography because it's like, whatever, I don't want to like post. I'm not doing stuff because I just want to post. Like, you have a feeling and an urge that this is what you need to do. Like, and I know I'm doing it now, but I was put on this earth like to do that. And so for me, I actually find that really nice and attractive. Like, when people are actually passionate about something and do care, because I see so many times here, especially in LA, when people don't give a fuck about anything. I think it's an issue when people are busy to the point like where they're like condescending to other people.
Mhm.
When they're saying like, "Oh, I'm so busy and bitch,
Yeah.
like you're not
I
worth
think
my
that's what
time."
yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
problem because you're being prideful and you're being condescending. Being booked and hustling and all that, that's absolutely like do your shit because no one's gonna get this money for you. Like you have to go out and do that.
Right.
And a lot of creative people do that because. And let me say this, a lot of black creative people do that. I mean, this is a topic I want to talk about for a whole other time, but the whole, like, let's get this bread, I want to get stacks thing. I think a lot of black people do that as like, use like bravado as like a defense mechanism, but that's like a whole other conversation.
Oh, yeah.
But I think when it comes to that stuff, like, people don't understand sometimes that, like, these projects, like, they take effort and like, there's time that goes into them. And it's like, for a lot of people, like, that's how, like, imagine, like, growing up, right? And you finding something that you really love to do. And then the universe telling you that you need to be a mathematician or a scientist. And then you going to school knowing you're not going to make money for it. And then you still choosing to do this thing. So yeah, you love this thing so much that you're willing to go into debt and do all this stuff for it, knowing full well. So yeah, you're going to work your ass off and you're going to hustle and you're going to talk about the things that you're doing. And I think you should absolutely be proud of that. But what you should not do is make other people feel terrible or feel shitty because they're not at the same level of busy as you. That shit's whack. And that's what I was saying before. Like, if you're really on your shit and worrying about what you're doing and on your shit, you don't need to worry about what other people are doing. Like, there's not, like, I can't, like, if you're that busy and you're that booked, how do you have time to keep up with what everyone else is doing? Fake bitch. Like, you're not. You're being a hater.
Another thing I think is, like, what a point that was brought up was the concept, like, was not the concept, but like people being busy when they don't have to be so that they can appear. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that's the, I think a part of it is that's the part of the performance part where it's like situations where this person could just take the time to have time to themselves or whatever other people in their lives. But like they're still just being busy for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And when they were talking about, well, I wasn't going to say a specific person, but when they were talking about the specific person,
That was close.
they were talking about the fact that they do that. Like they're not necessarily, and not just this person, but many people will just do things and continue to make sure that they're busy just so they can be busy and let everyone know that they're busy.
But I wonder why people just then don't ask them and check in and say, "Hey sis, are you doing okay?"
Yeah.
Like why is then the assumption to be like, well, this bitch is doing, like, maybe that person, see, this is the thing, maybe
That's
that person
a good
that's
point.
always see, so I'm just gonna be really personal. Maybe the person that's really busy and like doing shit all the time, maybe they're having hard times and maybe they're doing that because they're having a hard time with things and don't want to think about it. Like, see, that's my issue with things, because people are always so quick to like harp and drag and like you don't know what that person's going through. Someone could have died in their family. They could have been overworking themselves for something. They could have been trying to work on a project they had a deadline for that could have boosted their career. You don't know what the fuck they're doing. So that's what I'm saying. People just need to mind their goddamn business. If you worry about what you're doing and stop worrying about what person A is doing and worrying about what yourself is doing, I guarantee you will be so much more fulfilled. Like, much, like, you don't need to worry about what, like, who cares? Check in with people.
You know that gif of that white guy with that who's like opening his
Blinking
eyes?
his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like realizing.
That's what I feel like just happened to me.
Is this the year of realizing things?
I just realized things, Rakeem. Thank you.
No, it's just more like, sorry. It's just more
I
like,
feel like such a hater.
No. You guys aren't hating.
I don't think so either. I still don't feel bad about what I feel, but now I'm seeing what you're saying as well.
But I just think we were talking about two completely different things, because when we had first brought it up, I was confused as to what like performative busy meant, because I didn't understand the concept of that, because it's like
I don't think it's something we've ever even spoken to each other about.
For me, like, I think I sort of have this privilege. I have career privilege because I have a job that is very secure. Like, people are always sick. And so my type of job, or like someone maybe in like banking, or someone who has like sort of a routine, this is our privilege, right? Because I just realized it when Rakeem was talking, because people who are creative, like, it's a completely different hustle. Do you know what I mean?
You have to
I don't have
work.
to worry about not having enough patients. People are sick all the time. Hospitals don't close down because of lack of, like, it's for a different reason, because of funding. But like, I don't have to worry about it. You know, like, I know that my creative friends have to worry about staying, like, what do I do if I run out of clients to do this type of gig that I do?
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn. And this is why, like, I think it's interesting that, like, as far as Asian culture, like, again, our parents don't push us to do creative because they're like, don't do what you love, do what puts money on the table.
Nigerians are like
and
that.
so, like, we were never encouraged to do photography or design or acting or singing, which is why you don't see us out there. We're encouraged to go to medical because because that hustle, because this is what you don't want to do.
And you brought up both a good point too, and race is a big factor because especially for cute like POC creatives and then queer people of color that are creatives too, like you have to work 8 times harder than your white counterparts.
Yeah.
Like so. And I say this, and I think you guys understand what I'm saying. I said before on the show, like on like episode 4 or something, like a really long time ago, that like with the work that I do, I always get compared to like like I get compared to like a lot of like white. Okay, I get compared to like a lot of like white photographers and things like that too, which is like fine. But like I feel like, in order for me to even be considered on the same level of some of these people, I run a gallery 11 to 5 Tuesday through Saturday. On top of that, I then like have to then like run my own art practice outside of that, like work with this gallery that I just joined, and then like do the podcast too, and then like somehow have time to have a social life and then date, and then that's what you have to do to be considered like to be considered like valid in your field, right? Like if you're black, and especially if you're dark skinned and you don't have abs or whatever, I have to work overtime. Like I have to. I don't have an option to be mediocre. I don't have an option to not be the best I can be. I don't have an option to not stay up to 2:00 in the morning editing shoots. I don't have the option of not pushing myself and trying to be creative. Like I can't just take pictures of a white guy with abs on a beach. I won't be successful that way. It won't work. And I don't want to be that way. So some people, I know with me myself, like I need to like calm the fuck down, and like I've like lost weight over the last 2 months because I've been like working myself to death. So one thing you did talk about is when it gets to the point of like knowing when to like pull back. And I struggle with that because I'm always torn between like, if I don't bust my ass, no one will give a fuck about what I'm doing. And I don't need people to give a fuck about what I'm doing, but I need to eat. Yeah. Right? Like, and it's like, if I don't bust my ass, like, I can't fall back on like a 6-figure job. Like, I do all of this stuff and I'm busting my ass and I still live at home and I'm 26. Like, that sucks. And it's like, I have to live with that. And then when I date people, I have to tell them and explain and like do all these like disclaimers. And so, yeah, like, I'm busy. And people are busy, and we're still fucking struggling. And then I guess now we have to deal with people thinking that we're fake bitches on top of that.
Damn, I feel so attacked right now.
So no, not you guys. But
no, I know you don't mean that with me.
So
but
it's like, damn.
I mean, I think you'll get less of that if you move to New York because you'll be a lot of other people are.
It's like I've never seen hard work be a fucking negative before.
I don't think anybody's saying that hard work in and of itself is a negative thing. I think people are saying that unhealthy culture of forcing yourself to be so busy that you don't get to rest.
I think it just bleeds out in other ways because, like,
sorry, you see, I've been holding this in for me.
Yeah, I see.
Let's talk about people. Like, okay, you're in New York, and we're here in LA. You haven't been to New York yet, Rakeem, but like people from New York, that's busy culture.
I think Rakeem will be fine there. I don't think it's something he'll even pick up on because you are actually busy all the time.
But like, that's why they say the expression in New York Minute is like this, because there's too much things to do. Busy culture.
Yeah.
People out here in LA, we walk too slow, we drive too slow, like everyone is slow. And TBH, I kind of like it. And this is why, like, I'm not busy culture. I'm not New York. My pace is very slow like this.
And that's why it was nice to come out here and get a little relaxation from that.
Yeah. I feel like culturally, there's a lot of people who want to live a slower pace. They know to move from New York and come to California, and then if people in California, they want that fast, they go to New York, and there's nothing wrong with either one
of them,
but it's just saying like
your issue Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No.
I was just gonna say, like, your issue, like, you say that, and that is something that's very common out here, and it's something I, like, struggled with a lot more out here, was I was a lot lazier when I lived in LA. And I was a lot, because moving to New York really changed that for me, because I felt constantly, you feel the pressure as soon as you get there. You feel like you have to be doing something or you're a loser.
Like Baze was saying, like, I think you were saying, having a conversation with someone, like, it's hard to find someone in New York who just wants to stay home and honestly.
Yeah, I was saying, like, inviting someone to your house to just, like, have a movie night is difficult.
A lot, that's so common out here, but people in New York don't do that as much because they gotta be out.
You gotta
they
have
gotta
dinner.
be at work. They gotta go to a club. They gotta go to a bar. They gotta go to this event.
Brunch.
Because they gotta be busy
lunch,
all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this is why I can't do New York, because I'm like, everyone there is too fast.
Yeah.
I'm not that girl.
Everything is fast paced and it's always going.
That's that fast paced and like busy culture. It's like this.
I think
I'm over here like California slow lane.
And I think you would thrive out there, honestly and truly. But I think that also that culture is something that I've like kind of had to like take a step back from and be like, okay, like I'm a creative and I want to be, you know, here. And I need to take I have taken some pages out of your book, because you're right. As a Black creative, the stories that I want to tell, the books that I want to write are not the first books that publishers want. They want, if you're going to write about people of color, they want to hear about pain. They want to hear about suffering. And those are not the stories that I'm trying to tell. So I'm going to have to hustle twice as hard to get my shit published as a white writer who's going to just come in and talk about dragons.
But it's also, but the other thing too, Baze, though, is that you're right. And that like, you need to like take breaks and like, you need to learn to like relax and like, you can't let it like eat you. And it's like, it's like rough, because it's like, for me, I don't need like that motivator, because I always feel like that I told you guys I was bullied when I was little, and it's like I always go back to that, and it's like I went through like therapy and all that, but it's like I'm like sharing today. When we talk about work shit, it's just kind of like, that's something I talked to my therapist about, because at the end of the day, it's like you sacrifice all of this stuff, right? Like you don't see your friends as much. You bust your ass. Like when you do have free time, you want to sit down. And then when you do hang out with people, sometimes you feel like you're not fully present, or you're being like a downer because you're just exhausted. And it's like you get, and I'm not trying to make it sound like woe is me or whatever. I love what I do, but it's like, when you're trying to hustle all of that, like there's a point where you realize like, fuck, like I'm going to be lonely, because it's like you can't hustle the way you want to and maintain everything. And I've had to like tell several people like, I'm really sorry, I've just been a shitty friend to you, because like this is where I'm at. And like after the art show, my life has just changed. And it's like, you know, and it sucks, because no one's doing anything wrong in the situation. Like it's not wrong for wanting to further your career,
I don't think,
and it's not wrong for
what we're saying.
If you communicate and you say I'm busy and like this is what's happening, I'm sorry, I don't know if this is going to change anytime soon. You have to respect that.
Yeah.
And so like, what can you do?
Okay.
I think that's it. I think that's what.
Sorry.
No. That was amazing.
Sorry,
Thank you.
I came into this conversation being a hater,
Same.
thinking one way, and then you turned it on me. So
Same.
thank you, Rakeem.
Yeah. I still semi-agree with myself. I think that there's both sides.
There's a little bit of a
With what you said at the beginning is absolutely right too.
I think there's both sides.
I think there's this like whole self-care thing. Like I said, it's like if I put this in this stupid binary, there's like a self-care relax, and the other end is busy. I think if you self-care too much, you're not going to get shit done. So
and in the middle, there's Tinashe.
Yeah. Oh. Wow.
I'm sorry.
I think LA has the more self-care too much. People like constantly allow themselves to not do things that they should be doing.
Fully
because
agree.
They just are lazy and don't want to do it, or they have depression, or something's preventing them from doing it.
No, people here are
but
lazy.
They give themselves excuses instead of pursuing the things that they need to be or want to be pursuing. And I feel like in New York, people push themselves beyond their limits to be the best that they can be, and I don't think either one is healthy. I think that you should have self-care.
Just come for LA like
but
that.
You got to deserve your self-care, and you got to be working hard. You still gotta push yourself.
A word.
A word.
Oh, wow.
And that's a word for me, because that's something that I like. Sometimes I'd be like, "Ooh, bitch, I need some self-care." And it's like, bitch, what you do to deserve that?
Ah!
You ain't do nothing.
Oh, that meme of that, like, me after doing the bare minimum, just, like, laying down.
You know, same.
But
Honestly.
like, and the thing is, at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with any of that.
No.
Just like know where you
Just
are
be
and
aware.
what works for you.
Exactly.
That's really it. And like, if you like, and you have to compromise. That's
Yeah.
all.
To compromise. No.
Compromise for what reason?
Okay, so we're just gonna actually move on and go into
Let's
male
hear
of
off.
color. Ziletes. This person wants a fake name. Zacharias. Okay. Dear Trashbags, I just want to say, start by saying how amazing y'all are. It's so inspiring seeing how you use your platform to show all the different ways of existing and thriving as a POC. I've been a fan since the first episode. Thank you very much. And I just can't wait to see where this journey takes you.
Girl, you've
girl,
been on
me
an
either.
audio journey.
We're still on one, honestly.
Right.
So here's my dilemma. I've been in a relationship with my partner for over 4 years. He's 26 and I'm 27. He's thoughtful, creative, and ambitious. Got a great job, etc. All the things I want in a boyfriend. He lives in a great apartment close to our jobs. All of our friends think we're the perfect couple.
But
Perfect, quote unquote. There's just
Rakeem.
one issue.
Sorry.
I mean, come on now.
I mean,
There's just one issue. We're really lacking in the sex department. Oop.
ooh.
My BF just isn't really into it. He said it's because he has a low sex drive. I'm sensitive to this, but at the same time, a girl has needs, you know? I've communicated this to him numerous times, and he's vowed to try harder. Obviously, I'm not perfect either, and I've sexted exes in the past when I felt needy. We're in a good place now, but we just keep going around in circles with nothing really changing. So anyway, he's about to get a new job, which will mean he'll be traveling internationally for work every week. Although I'm super proud of him, I'm worried about how it will affect our relationship. I know sex isn't the most important thing in a relationship, but not having any can't be right either. My question is, do I break up with my partner and shatter the perfect life we built together, or do I stick with him and try to make it work? Lots of love from London, Zachariah.
Okay.
Are those the only
So
options?
here's the thing. Here's what I think. Here's what I think. I think that sex is still a very important part of the
Bingo.
relationship. And so, yes, it's great that everything else is working. It depends on each person, though. Some people have different priorities as far as sex goes, and for some people it's higher, some people it's lower. Wherever it is on your list, it's valid. And your relationship should reflect that. If you don't feel like you're getting what you need, maybe you don't have to break up. Maybe you guys should discuss potentially opening the relationship up, because I definitely know people who are poly and are with, I know someone who has a partner who has a very low sex drive, and he's fine with her having other sexual partners.
They probably
because of
prefer that. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's actually ace. So, for him, it's just like, I'm not interested in having sex. I love you, and I love going to bed with you, and I love like holding you, and I love kissing you, but I just don't want to have sex. And so it's better that you find that from someone else. So I think that that's something that should be explored before you decide that you want to break up with them, because it sounds like everything else is going great. And if that is the case, maybe you want to try to explore some other options before you make that final
Have they
decision.
said if they've talked to them about it before?
They have.
Okay, so yeah, I would
Not about open relationships, about the
lack of sex.
Yeah.
But when they are having sex, is it good?
They didn't say all that. They just said it's not happening often.
Okay, I'm assuming that you're having good sex, just not enough. If that's the case, then maybe what you could do is like get like toys or something where you could do something where like he pleases you, or maybe like men do it all the time where women don't come. So I mean, that could be something you could do, or opening it up could be a thing. But I agree with Baze in that like sex is a big part of the relationship, honestly. So if you aren't getting satisfied that way, I don't think that's an invalid reason to leave. I'm not saying you should leave them, but if you do, it's not an invalid reason to.
I hear you guys saying sex is a big. I just want to make sure that the person who wrote in, like, you guys, your where you both place sex in your ranks of priorities, that is another conversation. Like, who is he upset as what is a he? They're dating a he, like,
I think so, yeah.
or their partner. Let's just say their partner.
Yeah.
Gender neutral. I mean, that's a conversation you need to have with that person and say, I'm noticing it. Are you noticing it? Because if they're not, then they probably think.
Well, it sounds like they are noticing.
They-
They've had a conversation.
They had a conversation about it already. They had
But
that conversation.
Yeah.
Who initiated that conversation?
The writer.
Oh,
the
I see,
person
I
who
see.
wrote it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he said, like they said, my BF just really isn't really into it. He said it's because he has a low sex drive.
Yeah.
So I would say opening it up.
Did they know that going into it?
That is a valid question.
Like, I don't know, when I date someone, like, you know, or whatever, you guys, like, people already know, like, ahead of time, like,
Do they? How would you know that?
Sometimes relationships start off with a lot of sex and then they slow. I mean, most relationships actually end up not having as much sex as you were having at the beginning of the relationship.
But can't you not tell someone's like full sex drive until you date them for a minute?
Yeah,
that's true. That's
so like, how would they know that? Like,
well, some people talk about it right away. Like, I have a high sex drive. Just thought you should. Like,
yeah,
people come off that way sometimes when.
I feel like with the
That's
gays,
true.
it's mostly assumed that you'll have a high sex drive.
But this isn't a gay relationship, is it not?
I believe
or
so,
like
but I don't know for sure.
Sometimes when you're talking to someone who's on a certain medication that makes them have a low sex drive, be like, hey,
yes,
just let you know, I'm on this medication and I have a low sex drive. And if you go into this relationship saying, I want to have a lot of sex, well, then you kind of fucked up because you set yourself up for failure.
But either way, if they're not satisfied, they need to break up.
Honestly, that's
At
kind of
some
a
point.
low-key dating while on like anxiety meds is low-key a
yeah,
discourse.
I know a lot of
because-
friends. Like, a lot of my friends are on Wellbutrin or whatever, which is a medication for depression. It decreases your sex drive.
I have
So
that too.
It's something that you need to talk with your partner about because, like, hey, this is medication that's not only for me, but it's also going to affect our relationship. So
Yeah.
maybe there's something else to consider.
Yeah, that's a conversation people should definitely have. So, look at that. We had a good, wholesome, healthy answer.
I know.
Damn, look at us.
It wasn't okay.
Damn, wrapping things
right.
up nice and neat then. So, so are we?
I think, yeah, that's a wrap.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap up this episode of POC. Thank you all so much for listening. Oh my God, I'm like sad because it's like crazy seeing Baze like in the studio. Like I was looking at him the whole time, like, oh, you're fucking like here.
Aw.
So yeah. So anyway, you can find us everywhere at you can find us on Twitter at Trashacolor and everywhere else at Podcastacolor. Send in questions, honey roasts, messy questions to podcastacolor@gmail.com. And
I was just also gonna say we really appreciated your kind words on our iTunes page. We really appreciated the reviews.
Yeah.
And if you could do more of that would be really amazing.
oh yeah, y'all write some really great things. So
Yeah.
actually, if you post something in the next like week, I'll post it on the Instagram so like y'all can see it. Do you have any thank yous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baze and I would actually like to thank.
I know we actually have people to thank this week.
Yeah. We would like to thank.
This is what it feels like to be Rakeem.
Busy bee.
So, for some of our listeners who know, we've had some previous guests, Stony and Uzo from
Mhm.
Stuzo Clothing. If you
Mhm.
guys check them out, they're on Instagram at Stuzo Clothing. They have a online store, but also brick and mortar out here in LA. And so, Baze and I had the wonderful opportunity of working with them for some clothing. I don't know.
We had a photo shoot.
I'm not going to call myself a model. I'm just going to
We
say
were models, though. We were models, and it
Okay.
was really cute. And John served many
And
looks.
so did Baze, and so be sure to check them out. Check out me and Baze, but also come support some businesses, Black queer-owned businesses. And yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah.
And
I actually had something I forgot to say last week that I joined a artist curatorial collective. I forgot to say that last week. So I joined a gallery called Monte Vista Projects, which is essentially a curatorial space where like it's a group of 8 or 9 artists where we come together and we like curate.
make some sense of the world.
Yes. Well, honestly, and we come together and we like curate shows. So it's not necessarily about like my own work, but I get to now like scout other people's work to put in spaces. So like I'm trying to only look at work of queer art, like queer artists of color. So that's going to be like my mission for right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, girl.
So yeah, I'm very excited about that.
All right.
So
Well, thank you for tuning in, and
Yeah.
we'll see y'all next week.
Next week.
Okay.
This podcast is executively produced by Aaliyah J. Daniels, LaShawn McGee, Damian Pelliccioni, Christopher Rodriguez, John Kagandahan, Hakeem Cunningham, Baze White, and Renee Hernandez.